Come get ready with me as I get ready for a formal event. I want to curl my hair, so I'm prepping my hair that is dry with a mousse, and I'm using the Divinus mousse. I've used Aveda before. I do like those two products because they're not too heavy for my already thick and long hair. And then I'm just using any old flat iron to create some beachy waves. And because my hair is so long and thick, I have to work in sections as you're seeing, and then kind of just flipping over what has been curled behind my hair. And I like to work in sections. So you see I'm working in the top of the hair here first, and then kind of pulling down the bottom. And the reason I'm not using a traditional curling iron, usually I have a T3 with 3 different barrels. I find that's a great look if I want a lot of volume, but for this look, I did not want a lot of volume for my hair. I wanted more just waves that were a little bit more flat, more beachy wave, which I kind of see as kind of on trend more. I see some crimpers that were back in the 80s that we used to use, but I do prefer my hair more of like a beachy wave because I don't want volume all the time. So I'm just taking my time to work the hair in sections. And I just usually take my time. This is probably the longest part of my routine, other than makeup. And if I do my hair right, then this beachy wave look can last probably a good 3 days. And I just use dry shampoo on the third day. So I'm just sectioning off the top of my hair because I'm going to prepare my makeup and I'm just getting it out of the way. But I do kind of like this look. Okay, ready for the skin prep. I am using the Chantecaille. I think this is a kind of a bronzing anti-age tint, and it's meant to be kind of like a glow primer base. And I love it. I know how to use it. I don't use it alone because it doesn't work well for me as alone, but underneath as a primer, a glowy primer, especially when I'm wearing drier or matte foundations. And I know I'm going to use a foundation that's matte, so I wanted to prep my skin really well. I always use now here the Chanel Gel Yeux, and I use this as a staple in my routine. Here is the Sisley Phyto-Teint Perfection Foundation. This is the most beautiful matte, kind of natural looking foundation in my collection. It's also very long wear. I think it says it's either 12 or 24 hours. It's a great shade match. I am using the color 3W2 Hazel. I do have a full review of this foundation. I'll link that below and above. And, the filming of this is not traditionally like I have with my YouTube videos. I didn't have time, but I'm just filming completely on my phone. And the lighting might be off because I'm going on and off with my Ricky loves Ricky lamp, my light fixture, so I can see actually how I'm using my makeup. And I'm using my tried and true Kyoto Fupa brush. It is a few day brush. It's like thick bristles and very densely packed. And I like this for a seamless coverage. It's one of my favorite, if not my favorite, foundation brush in my collection. And this is a pretty pigmented foundation. A little goes a long way. So I only need probably one full pump for my entire face. It looks a little bit light on me in this video because of the lighting. But if you just check out my longer YouTube format video, you'll see it's a really great shade match. And I want to wear it because it's a long wearing. This is the Natasha Denona corrector, and I'm using the color C4. I think it is a little bit too deep and orange for me, so when the Sephora sale comes up, I'm going to get a shade C3, which I think is a better match for someone who's medium tan. But I work with it and I just don't put as much, and I just really kind of don't use too much. And then going into my tried and true long wear Pat McGrath under eye concealer. I know it has a longer name, but I'm just gonna say it by its shorter names. I'm using the shade LM14. I do find this is a little bit too bright for me. If I wanted a more truer color, I think LM15 is probably my better shade match. So I actually might get that during the Sephora sale. I have not found a concealer that really rivals this in terms of long wear. The second one that I like the best is the Fenty one. Okay, so here is the Pat McGrath under eye blurring powder. I usually use yellow, but I broke that and I will be repurchasing that at the Sephora sale. I'm using the color medium and I love this powder, but the thing I notice is that because of the packaging, it tends to fall and I tend to break it a lot. I'm also using the Hourglass eye primer. This is getting on in its longevity and shelf life. So I need to replace this Hourglass at the Sephora sale as well. And going back and setting the eye area for my base because I do have hooded aging lids, and if I don't set it, and oily lids, if I don't set it with powder, it will start to crease. And then what am I doing here? Oh yes, my favorite or least favorite part of my routine. I am using, I believe, the Tom Ford eyebrow pencil, and I think I have it in shade 03 Chestnut. It's an okay eyebrow pencil. I don't think I would buy it again. It's quite pricey for what it is, and there are cheaper products on the market that just do the same thing. It does come with an extra refill, so it'll be a while till I run out of this product. And then I'm finished with my eyebrow gel from Tom Ford. I do actually love this product. I think there's only one or two shades. Believe I'm using the shade Espresso. And then going into my favorite loose powder, I broke down and got the Sisley loose powder, and I believe I'm using the Sable 4, which is my actually better color, especially as I'm going into the summer months. My winter shade or center shade would be Matte 2 or Matte 2. And this is something I do throughout my makeup routine. I do layer my face in powders because it just helps keep the longevity of my makeup and my oiliness at bay. And because I'm going to an event, I am going to powder contour. And this is the Kevyn Aucoin contour. And this is, I believe, in the shade Deep. I have not found a contour shade that is as fabulous as this product. I think he's the one that kind of started the whole contouring, bronzing back in, I want to say the 90s with J-Lo as his muse and other models. So he was also a makeup artist who has now passed, but his makeup line is still, you can find it everywhere. And I just think this is like my favorite contour shade in powder. And because I have oily skin, powder just generally works better for me. So I am trying the Dior Eden Rock palette, and I start with this as a base. At this point, I'm thinking this is going to be my palette for the event. And then as I'm going through this palette, I'm remembering that I did not like this reformulation. So this is right when Dior reformulated their eyeshadow quads to be more sustainable or more green. And the pigmentation on the eyeshadow quads of Dior has just gone down. I will not be buying any more Dior quads. This is probably my last one I bought last year. I won't be, unless they change it back to a better formula. I don't like it because it's just not as impactful, not as shimmery, and they're just more muted. They just kind of feel almost, how dare I say, it feels almost like a cheaper formula, especially for the money I'm paying. I do like the color story. It's just not impactful. And Dior itself, already being luxury beauty, it's a pretty soft look already. So at this point, I know I'm like, okay, I'm going to commit to this look, but I am not going to use this shadow. I'm going to pull out a Pat McGrath in a bit because at least I have a base. And I didn't want to go full on Pat McGrath because I just wanted a softer look because of the outfit I'm wearing. It's a more traditional Filipino outfit, and it's not like an editorial look. So I'm finishing and committing to this Eden Rock Dior palette. And if this is still available, I will link it below. All the products I'm using on my face in this Get Ready With Me are linked below if you want to support my channel or just are curious to see if these are available still. Just click on the link below. And that is the blue shade. And I really do believe the blue trend was starting last year. And I think blue and all different types of blue are going to be super, super popular this year, trending in makeup. So, of course, I'm going to grab the OG, the Pat McGrath Mothership one. This is Subliminal palette. I just love her first probably 3 or 4 palettes. I think those are the best ones out of her whole curation of her collection. My dog in the background. So I'm just going into the star shade here. Obviously the Astral Blitz shades are what she's known for. And I'm going into that blue because it's probably my favorite blue in my entire collection. So beautiful, no fuss, no muss. And this is what I do love about Pat McGrath. I don't have a lot of events anymore, or at least I'm just starting to ramp up because of we're out of, out of the pandemic. But I just grab a Pat McGrath palette if you want an editorial look or just a wow factor. And I'm showing you the other shades that I can use. I'm going to use that bottom one because it has a shift, especially when you layer it over the blue, and it almost turns like it's a duo multi-chrome topper with shifts of light blue and pink, and I believe there's some purple in there. I just love this palette so much. They're one of her few cool tone palettes, like truly cool tone. I would love for her to do more cool tone palettes in the future if she if she's able to. She's more corporate now, so she has to be beholden to less her creative whims and was selling more, in my opinion, things that will sell. The thing about the Astral Blitz shades is that they do have fallout. Okay, so I'm grabbing the new Dior bronzers. I forget the name. I have not done a review yet because I'm actually testing them out before I do a review. I ended up getting two shades. This is shade 31. And 31 I think the peachy bronze. I forget. It's the one that's more, it's not pink. I didn't get any of the pinks. I just got more of the warm tone ones. And I think it's great. I think if you're my skin tone or lighter, this shade 31 is going to be really beautiful. The thing about it is that it's pretty light. It could be an all over bronzer. What I've been finding, at least with this bronzer, is that I have to be careful or else the bronzer will get over my face and it'll start to turn my face a little orangey, which I don't like. So I had to be a little bit more careful and precise with this bronzer, but it's really beautiful. I love it. I love a shimmery bronzer. Not everyone likes that. I have a combination of matte bronzers and shimmery bronzers in my collection. Okay, Beauty Fam, I always do this. I'm like, we're going to leave early, and then we're totally late. The first bronzy shimmering blush was Dior Forever in 31 Coral Bronze. I don't know if you can see. Anyway, Coral Bronze. And I started with the lighter one because I didn't want to do the deep one just in case. So this is the Dior Forever Glow Maximizer in Peachy. And a subscriber actually DM'd me and said, hey, don't get that one. Do the rosy one because it barely shows up. Well, the thing I know about myself is I actually don't like a lot of like bright highlighters, and I tend to like peachy apricot tones. So this is actually perfect because I want it to meld into my skin. There, perfect. I don't want it to be like the Charlotte Tilbury ones, which I actually just sold that one, the one with that sponge tip applicator. I didn't like that one at all, but this is similar to that, but it's not in that gross applicator, and it's really pretty. I would say this is probably like, this is first impressions, but maybe this is like more age appropriate, age friendly. Like I have pores and texture there, and that looks really, really pretty. I'm gonna grab some, put some on the Cupid's bow here. Okay, that looks so pretty. I'm gonna finish with some blush. Okay, goodness, I did not plan my makeup today. I'm just grabbing whatever since I'm a little late. I'm gonna grab my Chanel, this is Mauve Glace, because it's looking really, really warm, and my dress is going to be navy blue with traditional Filipino barong Tagalog for women, or a camisa. And so I just want to just make it a little bit more red back here. And because it's pretty intense, I'm just going to put that back here. And then one more thing. And then I'm grabbing Rose Polar. They come with these things, and I put them back in here, and every time I use these I'm in a rush, and I put it back as if I'm going to use it. I just need to take it out and not use it. So this is Rose Polar, and I like to use this as draping. Just adds another layer of blush, especially in the front. It's like this really light pink. And I'm over blushing because for blush, that's the first thing to just disappear on my face. So I'm almost done. I just got to figure out what lipstick. Okay, I'm totally grabbing these lashes. They're the ones that you put underneath. And this could be a mistake, but I should not be doing this in a rush. But I really like these because I can't, for the life of me, I am so challenged in doing regular lashes. And these are the ones that go underneath. So they're a little curled. And I just put them at the end to have like that effect of like, kind of like the doe eye. I don't know what that's called, but I'm just putting them at the ends. And they're they're basically one-time stick-ons. I'll put the link of what these are below. And they say you should try using them with the lash tweezer, and those never work for me. I just use my hands. Okay, these look a little weird, but okay, so they just kind of add a little wispiness at the end. Okay, it's hard for me to do these on camera. What I like and don't like about these is sometimes you can see, it's supposed to be clear, but sometimes you can see the glue, and I had to take it off and then put it back on. And they're great when they work and not great when they don't. So I'm going to try to put them on at the end again. And the left side is always harder because I am right-handed. I don't know if you can see. So I try to put it right at the edge of the lash and then just like push it, and that's when it usually stays. Okay, so I found the lash pincher, so I just gotta be really careful. What I do is just go in really carefully and try to clamp the stick-ons to my actual lash line. There we go. And these are not even the dramatic ones. I think I got like the everyday ones, and I meant to get like the ones for an event, and I forgot. So it's just a little zhuzh there at the end. And actually I'm looking, I think I might have done this wrong. The ones on this side are much more curled. Anyway, it is what it is. This is why I don't like wearing fake lashes. Like, always feel like they're gonna fall. Okay, so definitely need to bring a mirror. I'm gonna bring this mirror just to check my lashes. I'm grabbing, this is the Chantecaille Blurring Setting Powder. And I might look a little light now, but what happens with my face, and I know this always, that I will get oily like within 20 minutes, and throughout the day, the evening, I will get even oilier. And so like my natural oils will come through and like kind of balance out my entire look. Okay, because I'm a little extra and I'm also curious, I want to try on the deeper of the bronzers. I think this is what, 51? Pecan Bronze 51. And I'm going to go in really light with this. Ooh, it's definitely more red. Okay, this might be too deep for me, but it is what it is. Pretty. I love these bronzers. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is I was using the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, but actually stopped working. So what I'm going to do is put this milk makeup setting spray that I have. Oh, now I know I wanted to stop using it. The spray mechanism is terrible. It's just like, I'm just actually going to chuck this in the bin. Remember, it's like it sprays too much too fast. It's not even a mist anymore. Okay, I hope that didn't mess up my lipstick. I'm always scared about like finishing spray. Okay. Before I forget, I'm going to take this little Chanel Cosmetics bag that I kind of made into a little purse. I'll tag Daph's Makeup. Daphne did a great YouTube video on how to convert these bags, so I'll link that video below. So thanks, Daphne. Okay, so this is the finish. I'm actually not sure what lipstick I'm going to wear. I am wearing my Filipino Araw, A-R-A-W earrings. Actually, I might wear some other ones that are white because I'm wearing a navy, which is a cool tone. This is think Adriana Papell. It's very like slimming. I have two of these dresses because I like them so much, and it has ruching, so it kind of bunches the material here. It looks very flattering. So this is, I always bring a fan with me. My Chanel purse, which it doesn't quite fit, but we'll make it work. My Filipino camisa on. Usually it was actually made to be like this, but this is what this used to be. This was bought when I was, oh, this is probably over 20 years old. So it's very small, so I'm going to do something different with it. So it's meant to be worn like this. It's beautiful. This is Piña Husi, and this was handmade in the Philippines. This is like one of the highest qualities barong Tagalog you can buy. It's actually made out of woven pineapple fiber. So it's very, very delicate. And this is the traditional Filipino sleeves, butterfly sleeves. You can have them really, really big or small. And let me put this on. So again, it doesn't fit anymore. So what I did is sewed the clasps in, and then a more kind of traditional Filipino dress, a camisa, the women's version of a barong Tagalog. And this is the detailing, all hand stitched. And this was actually a present from my mother when we went to the Philippines together. So this is definitely one of my most cherished items in my wardrobe, because it was a gift from my mother, because it was pretty spendy. I remember begging her to buy this for me, and I was like, I really want it, Mom. This is a keepsake. And she got it as a gift for me. So this is what I'm wearing tonight. Let me know what you think.